Hey everybody, Cokeman 250 here. Well, as you guys know, every year I buy a bunch of corn from the field down South Arkansas. And it's fresh from the field. They pick it the day before and you go get it. There's actually a guy that lives here in town. I kind of got in with him from a guy who works with him. Anyway, he takes orders. And he'll go down with a flatbed trailer and he'll buy a flatbed trailer full of corn from the field. And every year I'll buy a bag or two. I usually buy 2 bags, but this year I only bought 1. I'm kind of regretting it. I wish I'd have bought 2. I give it out to, I give my parents some. I take it to, different get-togethers and stuff like that. So, I got a video that I'm going to put up here in the corner. And you can go watch it. It's a video I done a few years back, and it was me blanching my corn. And I've done this for years, and I've always blanched my corn. And last year, I tried 2 different other methods. I didn't blanch it. I was kind of in a time crunch, so half of it I froze in the shuck, and the other half I shucked and then froze. The ones in the shuck, I noticed over time, started to turn black. And I don't know what the deal was with that, but the corn looked good on the inside. The shucks were turning black. And then the ones that weren't blanched and that were shucked, and I just put them in the freezer, and they seem to have dried out and freezer burnt quick. So my family, you could tell the taste difference. And you can do it. There's a lot of people who do their corn that way. But taste difference, I could tell it big time. And my wife wouldn't even hardly eat the corn last year. So we ended up feeding a lot of that corn to the chickens. When my boy left the freezer open here not long ago, I just fed most of that to the chickens, and it was real cold, so it was kind of a nice summer treat for them. But I blanched a bunch of corn the other day, and you probably just seen my video yesterday or the day before where I was showing you how to shuck corn. It's a little quick tip. Some people that buy their corn from the freezer section may have never even thought about it or knew how. But anyway, I'm going to show you a couple of things. This is just how I do it. It's really basic. I do it outside because it's normally about this time of year whenever I do it, and it's very hot. So I don't want to heat up the house to do it, so I just use my fish cooker to do it. So here's some clips of that. And today I'm blanching corn. And get me some water boiling. Put about 8 ears, however the size of your basket is. I put 8 ears in at a time. Then I set my stopwatch, and I go about 2 minutes. I've seen where you can go anywhere from 1 minute to 3 minutes. I pick a good in-between number. I just shake it around once in a while so they all kind of get flipped around, turned around. And we'll let that go 2 minutes. And then once the 2 minutes is up, I'll bring you back. Alright, once 2 minutes is up, I keep a cooler full of water, and I just dump it in there. And I'm fixing to put the water hose in there and let that water just keep running so it stays cool. They say ice water, but you go through a lot of ice. I've done it with ice a few years back, and you just go through so much ice it's not worth it. So I just use cold water. All you're doing is stopping that cooking process. Okay, so just a few short clips on how I do it. That cooler, I just keep putting the corn on top of the other corn, and I stick that water hose in there, and it keeps the water flushed out, the hot water out, and it keeps cool water running fresh in there. So I was looking up, and in that video that I posted up here in the corner, I talk a little bit more about this, but I looked up something, and it's from the University of Illinois Extension. And what they say is the reason to blanch your corn is it inactivates enzymes, resulting in better quality food. It also cleans off surface dirt and organisms, brightens the color, and reduces enzyme activity that causes color and flavor changes, and it removes air and softens the corn. Now the thing is, there's an enzyme that's in corn, and even in the freezer, that enzyme will break down your corn, make your corn on the cob mushy, make the cob mushy, and it'll also give it an off flavor. Now, that is what happened to me when I didn't blanch. And the thing is, if you're gonna consume that corn, I'm gonna say within a couple months, because there was a time frame that we ate that corn and it was good and it didn't have any flavor problems. But now, as the time went on, it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And what it is, it's that enzyme that the freezer won't kill. The freezer kills a lot of things, but it won't kill this certain enzyme. And you have to do the research on your own about this enzyme and what it is, what it's called. But that enzyme in there is only killed by boiling the vegetable, the corn, for anywhere from 1 to 4 minutes. There's a lot of stuff out there that says 1 to 4 minutes, and I blanch mine for 2 minutes. Now, there's a little bit of time for me putting it in. I let it get boiling real good. Then I start the timer. And then, I mess around a little bit by turning the timer off and getting my glove or whatever to pick up the hot basket. So there may be another minute in there. So 2 to 3 minutes is a good time where I stay with. And I'm going to tell you, it makes a huge difference when you're packing away corn in your freezer. Now, some of this corn, when I'll buy 2 bags, we would eat some of this corn up until, if I knew the corn, usually we would have some corn left even a year later. And when I knew corn time was coming around again, we would start eating a lot more corn. We'd get burnt out on it here and there, and we'd start eating it again, because about this time of year, it's corn time, so the grill's firing up a lot more outside, which we grill all year round, but your grill's firing up a lot more. It's easy to throw corn on that grill. Oh man, is it good. So the thing is, that corn that was a year old after blanching tastes exactly like the day you put it in the freezer. You can't tell the difference. But I could when I didn't blanch, and I could tell the difference even before Christmas. So within the 6-month time frame, I could tell a huge difference from the day I put it in. So the thing is, it just depends on how long you're going to store your corn. How much corn you got is going to determine on how fast you eat it. But you make the decision whether you want to blanch it or not. But if you're like me and my family, we'll eat corn for a while if we got a bunch, and then we'll lay off of it for a while. And sometimes it may sit in there a while, and there may be stuff in the freezer that sits around a while. So everything in my freezer, I like to make sure that it's packaged the best way it can to stay the longest. That way, if something happens and we forget about it, it gets shoved in the back, or we just don't want to eat that for a while, that the time we get ready to eat it again, it's still going to be just as good and as fresh as the day I put it in that freezer. So anyway, just a little information there on blanching your corn, and I do this every year. So I suggest you guys get you some corn, blanch it up, and store it away in your freezer. This is Cokeman 250 from the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless everybody, and remember, prep smarter and pray harder.